Today, I'm going to show you ClawX, a brand new free desktop app for OpenClaw, and why it makes managing your AI agents so much easier than what you're probably using right now. Because if you've been running OpenClaw through normal gateway, you already know how messy it's getting. Buggy scheduled tasks, hard to manage providers, chunky chat history. It is a pain. ClawX fixes all of that. Clean UI, easy agent management, simple skill setup, schedule tasks that actually work, and you can connect it to WhatsApp, to Discord, to all your other channels without needing to be technical at all. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what it looks like, how to get it set up, and how to start using it to manage your OpenClaw agents way more easily than before. It's also completely free. It works on Mac, Windows, and Linux, and you can download it and install it pretty quickly. And honestly, once you see it side by side with the standard OpenClaw setup, there's no competition. Let's get straight in. So today we're going to be testing out ClawX, which is a desktop app for OpenClaw AI agents. And we're going to be testing this out directly, and I'll show you exactly how to use it. Now, one of the biggest benefits of this is that the UI is 10 times nicer, right? So this is the UI of OpenClaw over here. You can see it on the right hand side. Not that nice. Kind of messy, doesn't show much, right? You can switch between the different tabs here, but even that is a little bit slow and a little bit messy, as you can see right there, right? Whereas what we're going to do, as you can see, is improve the UI massively by using this instead. So let's get started with this. If you want to download it, this is a free desktop app, right? With a nicer interface for OpenClaw AI agents. So ClawX can be built in two different ways. Number one, you can build it from the source like so with these terminal instructions on the GitHub, or what you can do is you can just go to releases and actually just download it, right? So you can see here we've got the releases, and then what we can do is we can scroll down, go to this section here. It's available on Linux, it's available on Windows, and we can also use it on, which I'm going to get started with now. Now, in the meantime, you might be wondering, okay, why would you use this? What are the use cases for ClawX, etc.? So whilst that's downloading, let me walk you through it. Number one is you get your own personal AI assistant that's just easy to manage inside of UI. Number two is automated monitoring. So you can set up scheduled agents to monitor news feeds. For example, watch for specific events. You can link this to your preferred channels. Number three is developer productivity. And number four is workflow automation. Now, also, you might be thinking, okay, but why would you use ClawX specifically? Well, it's super easy to set up, right? There's no configuration barrier. So it's pretty simple and easy. Number two, it's got a much nicer chat UI. So let me show you how it works in practice. We've just downloaded it now and installed it. You can see it's installing over there. And also you can manage and schedule your AI tasks better. You can manage your skills a bit easier than you can inside the normal open gateway. You can also connect this to other skills like Tavily. So if we open this up now, this is what it looks like, right? And just how much nicer does that look than the UI that is just switched off over here, right? It looks a lot nicer. Now, if you go inside models as well, what's pretty cool about this is we can easily add providers. Now, this is quite difficult to manage, especially recently with the new updates from OpenClaw. It's been more and more difficult to manage your providers. But look how much cleaner this looks versus using OpenClaw normally. If we open up OpenClaw normally, you can switch providers, but it's pretty hard to like switch the keys and everything else in the configuration, right? It's not that easy. Whereas over here, you can just edit it. You can change the models. You can replace the API key if you want to. You can delete this. It's just a lot easier to configure everything, and it makes it less of a barrier to actually manage. You can also see how many tokens you've used, how many you've used over the last 30 days, 7 days, all time, and then you've got all these different providers here. Now, the other good thing about this is that you can also see all of your agents, and you can add new agents here, right? So it kind of feels like ChatGPT or Claude, but it's for your open. So it's much easier to manage. So for example, if we compare these side by side, which one is easier to manage, right? Which one are you going to be able to add separate agents to? Which one can you control better? It's going to be ClawX, of course, right? And so if we put an agent name here and we want to set up a new OpenClaw agent, we can set it up, and we can also copy the original SolMD, so we don't need to start from scratch again. So we can add like Julian over here, we can save that, and now we have two AI agents ready to go, right? We can configure separate APIs for them. We can have them communicate with each other. It's just a lot easier to, and I think this is even more important because I've seen so many people complain about the latest updates and how difficult and how buggy they are to configure. I've experienced the same thing, to be honest with you. And so this is a much nicer way to manage everything, right? Now, what you're going to see inside this section is you've got your skills. So what you can actually do here is you can manage all your skills. If you want to switch anything off, you can. If you want to switch it on, you can. You can also install new skills, and you can go to the marketplace here and search for new stuff too. You can also open up your skills folder if you want to go directly to the files and edit anything. And over here, you've got your scheduled tasks. So this is much nicer and easier to manage if we compare it side by side versus something like the scheduled tasks here, right? In fact, this is just totally failed to pull it in, right? So look at the differences here. Over here, you've got a nice panel. You got your total tasks, active, pause, failed, etc. Over here, you've got a broken page that doesn't reload no matter how many times I click reload, right? And eventually it does work, but it's like, I'm not sure if that's pulling in the right things or not now. I don't know if that's actually the right page. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of things going on in the gateway of OpenClaw where I'm like, this isn't what it used to be. Now, also, what you'll see here is like, if you look at your chats inside OpenClaw, it's pretty difficult to manage your chat history, right? There's not really much of a chat history, especially if you set up new conversations. Now, go over to the left-hand side, and I can see all 3 conversations that I've had with OpenClaw when I've had to restart it here, right? So it's much easier to navigate between these and see what's going on and just get a feel for more control over the agent. So we've got scheduled tasks, super easy. We've got skills, super easy to manage. We've got the channels as well. Now, this is super important because inside the channels, you can manage where you can message your agent, you can connect things, you can add it to Discord, and it's a whole lot easier than asking for OpenClaw directly to set up or going inside your gateway, where I've found this has been more and more, right? Like, look at how easy it is to set up WhatsApp here versus how difficult it is to set up WhatsApp, right? Like, the gateway is just, for 99% of people, they're not technical enough to use. That's what I would say, right? Whereas if you're using ClawX, it's going to be much easier and faster. So we've got multiple agents, we've got skills, we've got channels, we've got agents over here, we've got models that we can configure, which is super nice. We can see all of our chat history. It's just a much nicer, smoother way to set this up. Now, also what we can do over here is we can select between active agents. So you can configure in the settings which model you want to use for your agent. You can change the name of it so it's easier to differentiate and manage. You can go to a new chat and then add multiple agents here. So you can route the next message to another agent, which is pretty cool too. So let's say, for example, you have a team of agents, right? You got maybe a marketing agent, you got Julian, OpenClaw, you got multiple, 3 different agents here, right? All running, like you can see, all configured under potentially. So what you can do inside the model section, if you go to new chat, is you can tag the other agents you've created, right? And then you can have one agent talk to another one. Kind of similar to Paperclip, but just a lot more user-friendly and a lot easier to connect with him. Now, what you've also got here is multi-agent parallel. So you can have multiple agents working in parallel together. You can have them all working in side-by-side, in tasks, etc., or you can just talk to your mate. Now, bear in mind that ClawX is purely for OpenClaw. If you do want something that kind of links to everything, the best option that I found for that is something like Aeon UI, and you can kind of use it in a similar way, but you can switch between all the different CLIs and all the different agents you have, right? So that could be, for example, Hermes, could be OpenClaw, could be Nanobot, etc. It could be Aeon CLI directly, and that's another alternative that's also open source. So Aeon UI is also a good option there. But if you just want to manage OpenClaw in one nice, easy, user-friendly way, ClawX is probably the best option. And if you just want to see a test of it, this is what it looks like when you actually message it, right? So it applies nicely. You can see what tools it's using, etc. as well. So that's basically